Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. We are a few minutes early to our latest installment of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. We are coming to you live from a grand opening, Mr. Neal. How are you today?
Good. I got a Red Sox shirt on. I like it.
I know, and I've got my Yankee jersey on for the first time since we've been doing this podcast. We are actually sitting correct according to our banner.
Yeah, I mean, which is weird, but you got to tell them the funny story. We came into where we are doing the live podcast, and you walked in, and
yeah, yesterday I came down here to do a quick walkthrough, just kind of see the logistics, and the manager's back was to the door when I walked in. And as he turned around, he said, "Hey, Neal, how are you?" And I started laughing until they realized it wasn't you.
It happens all the time.
And we'll get Brett to come on in a little bit. Brett is the store manager, and he's been great accommodating us here. Listen, if you don't know where we are, we're up here at Vegas Sports and Hockey up on Centennial and Tropical, right next to what store we want to give pops to? The Petco is right next to us.
Yeah, Petco. We like dogs.
We like dogs. And so they've got a big grand opening event. They've got a DJ. They got hot dogs. They got ESPN 1100 is out front. Windy City, one of my favorite hot dog places. They have a cart out front. And more importantly, they got a lot of great sales going on here in the store for the grand opening.
It's going to be a fun event. We've got a guest on. We're going to be interviewing in a little while.
Yes, Mr. Rick Knowles from LegalShield.
LegalShield. But we thought we would try something different this week and go remote. And Aaron and I both being huge sports fans. Couldn't think of a better place to be than in a sports memorabilia and uniforms and hockey type store.
Wait, what were you saying about that last sport? That last sport you were just mentioning?
What did I mention? I forgot.
Hockey?
Hockey. Oh, my God, he's putting this thing on. Are you warming up?
I have no idea if I can be heard at all, but if Marc-Andre Fleury has to wear this thing all game, his brains will never come out of his head.
You sound very mumbled.
Do?
What's that tag in front hanging? That's very funny.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. There you go. Put it up top.
There's a chin strap on this thing that I think my chin is now up in my brain.
Is that a large or an extra large? Because you need the next size up, pal.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you what. It's elastic on the back. This is like a catcher's hat. This is what catchers wear now.
They wear them now. Right? I know.
They wear them like hockey masks. My goodness, that thing is tight as all heck. You should put it on.
I'm not putting that on.
You have no guts. No guts.
Not at all.
Our first celebrity just showed up here. Then, of course, us. But you have a certain furry guest on your side. Thank you, sir. We were just look at this.
We got big hot dogs. Hey, we have a four-legged friend who just showed up. And his name is Marc-Andre Fleury.
The Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yeah, the Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah.
Excellent.
He's in the house. He's in the house. It's unbelievable.
Right on. He is here. He's of course, you recently did some work for Bark.
Yeah, I did their new corporate branding. And hey, Bark, you want to come up on the table, pal?
Oh, here he is. Yeah,
hey, there he is.
Come on, Bark. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Face the camera, Bark.
No, kiss his Uncle Neal. I go. There's Bark.
Excellent. There you go. All right. Bark is on the table as part of our display here, which is he's getting some nourishment from his owner here. Yeah. What is it? Let's introduce the owner of Bark.
Come on around, Rick.
Rick is his name. We'll give him the mic will be live.
Rick Williams.
Rick was he. Not only are we going to have Rick Knowles here, of course, in a little bit, but the nice thing about a show like this is you just never know who's going to show up. If it's easier to stand, you can stand right behind there.
I made it.
All right, there you go. Your mic is live. Just hold it right up there. Just hold it right up to your mouth.
Tremendous. How you doing?
Absolutely fantastic.
Look at that. He sits down on command, Bark. It's unbelievable. I love this dog.
Wait, who's got who controlled? He controlled you to sit down, or you sat down and he sat down?
Right up to your mouth. He's sneaking over to the hot dogs.
Just put that right up to your mouth so everybody can hear you.
He's sneaking over to the hot dog.
Sneaking over to the hot dog. Well, so real quickly, tell us a little about how Bark got his position representing and being part of the Knights universe.
Well, it started as a joke, quite frankly. I had a Twitter account, my own Twitter account, which I was so frustrated with following the 2016 election. I was following everybody that I just decided I wasn't going on there anymore. So
gotcha.
I opened a new Twitter account as a means to communicate with other Knights fans, and I made him the centerpiece. And I said, hey, I got to get him a hockey name. His real name is Fenway.
Oh,
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Excellent. I'm seeing a trend here.
Marc-Andre Fleury is a name character that I created, an online persona, if you will. And I did a Google search, hashtag search. Nothing showed up, so I grabbed it.
There you go. I love it.
And it seemed to resonate with people. And when we got him his custom jersey with the Marc Andre on the back and tailored and numbered, the NHL Instagram got a hold of it.
Oh, boy.
And it went from 200 followers to 12,000.
Unbelievable.
In 2 weeks.
Nice.
During which time he met Marc-Andre Fleury. So that was great. That helped.
And that's a great photo op because I've seen a number of photos him with Marc-Andre Fleury. I almost want to say Marc-Andre Fleury. You know, it's so implanted now in my mind. And I think marketing-wise, the fact that he's Marc-Andre Fleury really resonates with the fans. I mean, listen, how do you not love this dog? He's beautiful. I love this dog.
Probably not a good look for the audience, huh?
No, not on that angle, but hey,
down,
it is what it is. It is what it is. Either they get that view or they get our faces. I don't know which is worse or which is better. So, excellent. Well, listen, we appreciate you stopping by. It's good having everybody see Bark. When are we going to see what Neil's done with Bark? What's the status with that?
I have it at home. It's framed. I've placed it on social media. But Neil and I are trying to figure out a way that we can make some prints of that thing and maybe give back to the community.
Yep,
right on.
Merchandise with a charitable organization involved, which is always what we're both about.
Cool. Well, listen, I know there's people coming in. He's been nonstop photography, and part of everybody wants to take a picture with him. So
yeah, and it's his lunchtime too.
And it's his lunchtime. And I saw you brought him a little lunch, right?
Yeah,
brought him a hot dog.
We got him a hot dog.
He just had a piece of mind, so I'm like 3/4 hot dog left.
There you go. Windy City Hot Dogs is here. They got great hot dogs.
They're a buck.
That's all they're selling for out there. Yeah. It's for $1. Can't beat it.
Why do you think I offered?
That's all we need. 3 Jews on the panel. This is wonderful.
This is it. Exactly. That means we have a minion coming up soon at about 4 o'clock. Anyway, listen, we'll let you go because I know everybody wants to see Bark. Thanks for stopping by, Rick.
Thank
Pleasure.
You. All right,
you got it. All right, Marc-Andre
right.
making his quick appearance. Now, if we can find Brett for a minute or two, when he has a minute to jump on with us, if you can, we're going to have the store manager jump on with us and say hello to him. And really, without Brett and inviting us up here to be part of this would not be possible for us to be here. So, but this is a lot of fun.
Hey, I didn't get a notification that we've gone live so I can share, because we always tell our guests and our audience and viewers to please share the podcast. That's the way we spider and get out to as many people as we possibly can.
I don't know why I have you tagged in it, but if you go to my wall, you could pick it up and reshare it. I know that.
I got to go to your wall? It's on Yankee stuff on your wall.
Not as bad as what's behind us. As you notice behind us,
God.
We have the Mason-Dixon line sort of behind us. Behind me is all my Yankees and Giants stuff, and behind Neil, we've got the Patriots and the Red Sox. And, of course, we're in our jerseys, which, by the way, again, courtesy of the folks here at Vegas Sports and Hockey. We appreciate you. I asked Brett, I said, after the podcast, does this make it like a game-worn jersey for us?
Do we get a discount?
Well, I don't know. If we autograph it, will it like...
I'll autograph it. I got my magic marker. We're good. We're good.
I know. Draw Doofus on the back of our jerseys. Right. There you go. What would be Doofus's number if he played baseball? Like 1/2?
42.
142.
Because that was my number my whole career. Jackie. Respect to Jackie. I had 42 my whole career.
How about 2/4?
2/4 would work. That's half.
Ivy, she's sitting outside on Rogers' deck, and it's 75 degrees wherever she is right now.
Well, it's 80 degrees here, so you're close to us. And we'll see you in July anyhow, you guys.
When is she coming out?
In July. You didn't hear me.
No, I did. July when?
The end of July, I believe.
Oh, so after I come back from vacation?
I didn't know you were on vacation.
July 12th through the 19th, I'll be out of town.
Where you going?
I'm going to go to Lake Havasu because the weekend we come back, I'm on stage with Miss Fabulous.
Oh, that's right, that pageant thing you did.
Yes.
You were the only ugly guy on stage. They were beautiful.
Yeah, I know they are.
What are you doing?
Well, this is one of the. I love tchotchkes.
I know.
This is an oven mitt, one of the many oven mitts they have here.
You have a tchotchke room at home.
And my wife is so tired of it that I'm going to be out next. But this is an oven mitt, and of course, I went to Penn State. And I could not find one for the U for you. There are some colleges over there, but this is an oven mitt with the Penn State #1 fan. What do they call it? The foam fingers.
Yeah,
right?
the foam fingers. That's when you tell people they're #1. You hope it's the right finger going up.
Absolutely. And this, you know what? This is only $16. Don't worry, my wife.
I knew
this one's not going home. I got some other things though earmarked. She sent me with a shopping list. She was quick to tell me yesterday that her shirt size is a medium. So she's like, okay, I'll see what they. By the way, 25% off sale on looks like just about everything here in the store. Wherever there's a red tag, great sales. They have hats on sale for $5 to $10. They have all kinds of goodies.
You picked one up, didn't you? I can't get online here, so I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
maybe because you're not probably connected to their Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi here?
How do you think we're running on Facebook?
Oh, I don't know. All right, so if I search for a network here, hang on, we're gonna search for a network. What am I looking for?
Well,
Petco.
No. I don't think I'm gonna. The name of their Wi-Fi here is not the store name. It's a different one.
Sleep Tracker. Is that the one?
It's not the one. Actually, here I'll show it to you on my phone.
All right.
And then I'll just bounce off the recording because Brett was kind enough to send me the information. So get that out of there.
What is it?
The top line is the name of the Wi-Fi service you're looking for.
CenturyLink. I got it.
Don't say it over the air.
I
Wi-Fi information is protected, right, Rick? We shouldn't be giving out Wi-Fi information.
Yeah, but it says locked.
You can't. That means you can't get in without the password.
Right.
Now,
Do you know what that is?
I do. It's the third series. It's the third line down. What happened?
He almost ate something.
Uh-oh. A pepper. Oh, that would have been funny to watch. Third line on my phone, and put it in the way you see it. I'm going to turn your mic off until you get that in.
I'm not gonna say.
Okay, so this is what happens when you have someone who's not all that technically sound trying to get into a Wi-Fi network. But he was mentioning that I was here yesterday, and I bought this beautiful hat. This was one of the hats they had on sale. This is a Giants hat. Because we're all dead. I didn't even put on my extra bling today. I have it with me. I had my Giants watch, all my replica championship rings I was going to put on, but you can't really see it on air unless I keep my. So hello to everybody in the chat room. We appreciate you jumping in. Please reshare this feed to you all. We greatly appreciate it. So this way other folks can. And if you're in the area, come on down. The grand opening event is actually going to be going on until about 3 o'clock today. There's a DJ setting up. Fortunately, he's in front of us, and his speakers are facing away from us. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear us and Rick up over the noise. So, okay. Ivy's coming in June 30th to the 6th of August. That's cool. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to meet her and have her come down to a show because she's always instrumental in watching and being part of our chat room, and we appreciate that.
Oh.
So did you get on?
Well, it says you're live. And
okay.
I can assure it because I'm next to him. He's live.
Well, depending upon who you speak to, some might consider that I'm dead. Now, Rick was Mark.
Sure.
Rick is his name, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Rick Williams.
Well, he was kind enough to grab us a couple of hot dogs, but generally we don't eat on. We're not supposed to eat on air. It's not considered proper radio etiquette.
Oh.
But anyway, a couple of things that have been newsworthy, and I'm going to hopefully test my memory on this from the week. First and foremost, the teachers. We talked about this last week. The teachers union have voted that if things don't change with the budget come the start of next school year,
they're going on strike.
They are going to go on strike, which puts me in a little precarious position because, as you know, I'm a substitute teacher during the day, radio guy by night, and I already have an assignment set up to start next school year for a woman who's going to be out of maternity leave. And so, well, what do I do about crossing line? I mean, I want to support the teachers.
Oh, you can't cross the picket line. You know what that's about.
Yeah, I do. But at the same token, I'm not part of the union. The kids are going to be
It doesn't matter to them.
The kids are going to be the ones who will be suffering because it's not like they're going to close the school.
Doesn't matter to them.
And I actually asked my significant other who's in the school system, and she gave me a piece of advice, and that is that she said that she believes that I should not be worried and I should still go in to teach since I'm you can eat online. You don't have to duck out of the way. You eat.
I ducked out of the way.
I know, but half your head was still there though. So. She suggested if I feel that I want to go teach, then I should go in and sub. Because remember, the poultry pay.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
And I get that. You're substituting for a teacher who contacted you because you're on their list.
Correct.
How are they going to feel? Would they more likely not call you the next time and go to someone else who didn't cross the line? Think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Fortunately, it's an elementary school, not where my wife is an administrator, so it would not necessarily affect me there.
We got a fly in here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Our competition is coming in. You know what they say? Be a fly in the room. I don't know. I don't think it would affect anything. Maybe at that school it might, but again, I mean, I'd be doing it for the benefit of the kids because there would be it's not like they're going to close the schools because of a potential walkout, which legally they're not allowed to actually walk out and strike in their contract.
Well, you know what? There are so many, as a substitute teacher, and my wife is also a substitute teacher. there's plenty of work for substitute teachers here. Now, if all the teachers go out on strike, are there going to be enough substitute teachers, or will they have to close the school down?
I'm going to tell you what, there's not enough substitute teachers now. So if the teachers go out on top of that, there are going to be problems, if they're going to call in every available sub. And certain subs like myself, I don't sub in middle school or high school. I just stick in the elementary level, and I try to stick in the Northwest, Summerlin, South area there.
Sure.
So yeah, it will become a big problem if the teachers do strike and they don't have enough bodies, so to speak, to cover.
Well, they're not going to. So now, they've got to address it. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is the issue? Why are they going on strike? Let's elaborate a little bit more on that.
The teachers union, the teachers for years, and they're tired of all the budget cuts that continues to affect class sizes, teacher hirings.
Sure.
I mean, when I was in elementary school, and I know you can say this when you were in school, we never went shopping with a school list of supplies we had to buy other than our pencils and papers and notebooks. We didn't have to buy paper, tissues and all that stuff.
Nor did we ever have to pay to play sports.
Correct. It was always provided. Right. And, other programs being cut because there's no funding in the budget. So they're fighting the decreased value of the dollars going into the school budget. Now, last week it was announced that Governor Sisolak was supposed to sign a bill or help pass a bill that says the marijuana tax, 3% of state revenues, is supposed to be going to the education budget. I'd like to see it happen.
Well, but who's running that? Because, listen, I know you never partaked.
Right.
But, I was a child of the 70s, so I'm not going to say that I didn't. The old... Well,
I just never chose to. It was around, but I just chose not to.
Well, we'll get to it, man. Don't worry about it. I mean, is that going to happen now? Who the hell knows where that money's going?
Well, right now, from what I read online, again, sources, who knows, that money right now is being funneled into the general fund, just like when Sandoval was governor. There was funds in the educational system that somehow, and I put that word in quotes, got diverted into the general fund because of the shortfall of the general fund, and education got stuck again.
But where's the general fund money going?
To things like road pavements and improvements and things that have nothing to do with education.
Right back to that school system, baby, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. So there's no guarantees. No one is really auditing the system, that monies that are being guaranteed. Now, with the increase of dollars and cents that the state supposedly is taking in up and over because of the marijuana tax, funding education should not be a problem. Every school is losing teachers, which means class sizes are growing. I've substituted in classes from first grade on up to fifth with 30 plus students in a class. Over 30 students in a class. That's hard to manage.
I'm all about the kids. We're both all about the kids. And
Absolutely.
The one thing that troubles me is that what a lot of people don't understand is that the kids are our future.
Absolutely.
The teachers are the one teaching the future.
Correct.
Without our teachers, these kids don't learn, and they don't learn well, not good, well. And, it's there's people walking around with Golden Knight stuff.
Absolutely. Well, we are in a store that is, Vegas hockey.
I know, but it's warm in here too, isn't it?
It is getting warm. But yeah, no, bottom line is the students are going to get hurt by this.
Yep.
No matter how you shake it out. I want to give a special shout out to someone who just showed up in the chat room, Julie Lund. Do you know the name Paul Lofgren here in town? Does that name ring a bell to you? A massage therapist?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Never been to one of them.
He's a mobile massage therapist.
Robert Kraft? One.
Stop.
All right. Okay.
But Paul Lofgren and his wife Debbie, my wife and I have known for a number of years, and their daughter Julie, who now lives in Texas. Wednesday morning, as I pulled up to my NetLV meeting, Julie put a post out there that shocked the daylights out of me. Paul Lofgren, unfortunately, passed away this past week due to end-stage COPD. One of the greatest individual people I've ever met, one of the good guys, as I would like to call him. And there will be a celebration of life for those who knew Paul at the end of June. And I spoke to Julie this week, and I was communicating with Paul's wife, Debbie, and they're hanging in there.
How old a guy?
Julie, since you're in the chat room, if you want to divulge his age, that'll be fine. But I would say he's probably about maybe 10 years your senior. And apparently the COPD came pretty quickly because there was no indication.
Not a smoker.
He was a smoker, and towards the end, when the treatments were not working, and he kept smoking, and we knew no indication that he was sick. So when I saw Julie's post, it was quite shocking. So thoughts and prayers out to the
condolences out there. Yep,
absolutely. So hello to everybody there. Now Brett is running around. I want to get him on at some point, but We are about quarter after the hour. I think at this time, my friend, what do you say we bring our guest up to join us at this time?
Absolutely. Let's bring Rick up.
All right. At this time, Mr. Rick Knowles. Rick Knowles from LegalShield. Rick Knowles from LegalShield will be joining us. Watch your back there, Neil. He's going to come in behind you. Get this out of the way. There we go. Come on in, Rick. Rick Knowles, I'll give you turn your mic up once you get settled. You'll be able to use that. Just keep the microphone right up to your mouth there so that you can speak right in and everybody hears you. Hello, Faith. You're welcome, hello. Julie. Oh, he was 73, by the way, Neil.
Oh, wow.
Paul Lofgren was 73.
Too young.
So anyway, Rick Knowles from LegalShield. How are you, Rick?
I'm just fine, thanks. I'm glad to be here with you today.
Hey, it's great to have you after all the times that we've spoke about getting this done for you. Now you're here.
I am.
We made it happen.
3 bald guys on set.
Hey, listen.
Boy, I tell you.
You want hats just to cover our, cover
No,
heads from all
I
the
never
lights?
wear. Listen,
I know you don't.
after my playing career,
Right.
where I wore a baseball cap 7 days a week,
Right on.
To hide the baldness because I had the hair on the side,
Right. You had the bozo fringe.
I took all the hair off and then stopped wearing hats. I just don't wear them anymore.
I do. I still wear mine all the time. But anyway, Rick, good to see you, my friend. So what's going on in your world, man? LegalShield, we'll get to LegalShield in a second. But let's talk a little bit about you. I know most of our audience probably knows who you are from Vegas and whatnot, but let's give a little history. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do before you got into this business?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm originally from a small town in western New York, about 30 miles south of Buffalo.
Okay.
And I often look back at it and think I grew up at a time when small towns were just very vibrant, and it was a great time to grow up in a small town and a great experience. And after that, after graduating from college, I spent several years in and out of South America. We did mining exploration work.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that mining in South America was a big industry.
Well, are there minerals? Were you mining for minerals? What were you mining for?
You're right. A lot of it is oil, but yes, there are minerals, and we were mainly an exploration outfit, and so we were looking for gold and platinum and also molybdenum and copper.
Did you find anything, or was it just an exploration to nowhere?
What
did you find?
Well, fortunately, we did find something and had some good success. So, but in all, the whole experience was very interesting. I don't think you can get a better education than going to another country, learning another language, and learning another culture.
So, how many languages do you speak?
Just 2, English and Spanish.
Nice.
What would be something you would share with the audience that people would not necessarily know about South America that you learned that surprised you?
Well, the people are very gracious down there, and they have wonderful history. Especially, I spent a lot of time in Ecuador, and they have I loved art, folk art. They call it artisania down there, and I love the folk art because it's replicas of things that go back into the Incan and pre-Incan cultures.
Oh, wow.
So that I just felt that was a lot of fun.
Let me ask this: education-wise, was any archaeology, any history? Was any of that part of your upbringing? I mean, because you mentioned the folk art and the Incas and all of that. With Ecuador, which I'm assuming is near the equator, that's why they call it Ecuador.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'm learning a lot here today. But what I'm trying to get is, do you have anything in your background, education-wise, that kind of lead you toward that field as you started out?
No, I kind of got into it. I hadn't planned to go there, and I think maybe educationally-wise, I knew more about Europe and the Middle East and maybe about Asia. So it really was fun to learn about South America and get to know the culture. So many in Ecuador, for instance, about 85% of the people are indigenous. And
Aaron, look that up in the Funkin' Wagnall.
Yes, I will. Indigenous?
Yeah.
That's when you have more than one digit, isn't it?
In opposed to outindigenous?
Exactly.
Oh, I got it.
Or here we might call them Native Americans.
Native
There you
Americans.
go.
There we go. We're getting politically correct.
But no, it really was a learning experience, and fortunately, I enjoyed Spanish, and I was one of the very few people in the company who did not speak Spanish, so I really had to learn Spanish, and I'm glad I did because it made the experience down there much richer. I was able to interact with people.
Communicate in their language, yeah.
Now,
Yes.
was it an easy language? Because I've always wanted to learn to speak in Spanish. I mean, I have enough trouble with English. but
I've never heard a Spaniard with a Boston accent before, though.
How do you say car in Spanish? Seriously.
Auto.
Etu. No, not even close. Well, I'm trying to use.
You
my
sounded
nose.
like you were sucking your thumb when you said
I
that. Oh my
And
goodness!
there's a tremendous difference in Spanish between the southern tip of Spanish and even Mexican Spanish. It's got a lot more English in it. So,
Oh,
and the difference, you have to be careful when you go between countries because different words can have different connotations.
Yes.
So you
right.
can
You gotta
kind
be
of
a little
embarrass
careful,
yourself.
a little
Based on
careful with it.
dialect and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Excellent. So you were down there, you said 25 years, right?
Yeah, about.
So, and did you end your time down there simply because your job was up, or was it after 25 years you had enough of doing that?
Well, it was kind of both. Fortunately, everything kind of came to a close, but I was very glad to come back to the States. I cherished the time I spent in South America and my experiences down there, but I also was very glad to come back because trying to get things done in South America, it's a great place, but they're not quite as organized as we are, and sometimes things go very well, and sometimes things can be very frustrating. So
Now, let me ask you as a segue into what you're doing now. How did you get into LegalShield? To our listening and viewing audience, LegalShield, 2 words put together: legal, obviously, shield, protection. Explain what LegalShield is, how you got into it, and a little bit more for our public out there.
okay. Actually, getting into LegalShield was a little bit of an outgrowth of being down there because all of the time that I worked in South America, we worked a great deal with attorneys. And it was, as a result, I had that resource available. Now, the attorneys, of course, were on retainer, and they were always very good about answering questions. Well, when I came back up here, I realized what attorneys cost an hour.
Yep.
You need a
And-
mortgage for an attorney out here.
Exactly, and it's more or less you use an attorney for the most part if you have if you have an issue that the expense warrants your spending the money on the attorney.
Right.
Well, I fortunately had a niece who, at the time, LegalShield was called Prepaid Legal, and she had become involved. She said, "Uncle Rick, you gotta come and take a look at this." And of course, the moment that I saw that it was a nationwide network of attorneys and that there was affordable for the average American, I thought, man, this is really a great experience, a great service, and something that I wanted to be involved in because I love helping people.
And how long have you been doing LegalShield?
About 16 years.
Wow, that long.
Right.
And it wasn't all that long ago when they changed their name to LegalShield from Prepaid, right? I want to say it was probably within, the last 10 years roughly?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
was a big reason for rebranding.
It was. We've actually been bought out twice, but it started in Ada, Oklahoma, and as LegalShield, and then and then a company, Mid-Ocean Partners, bought us. And in fact, LegalShield was at one time on the New York Stock Exchange, and they bought us, and they took it private. And so, and when they did that, they increased, or they really changed it. It was like Wall Street met Ada, Oklahoma, and they increased the level of the competence. They increased. It just changed the whole dynamics of the company, and they wanted to rebrand it.
Right. So it gave them a reason to kind of redo all of that at the same
Exactly.
time.
Yeah, now getting into LegalShield, I am a subscriber. I have LegalShield, and I've used it a number of different times. The one thing that I like about it is how quickly they get back to you when you have your membership number and you call in, and the law firm, is this a new issue? Is this an old issue? Give me, what is this about? I'll have them call you back. They get back immediately to you and give you answers which are extremely helpful. Explain some of the services of the legal aspect of it. I mean, listen, we know they do wills and they can help you with this and that, but when you have legal issues that are, you want to talk, somebody's going to sue you. What do I do? I get this person hounding me. What do I do? Elaborate a little bit more for our listening audience.
Okay, well, it's true. They actually, LegalShield owns the telephone line that go into each one of the primary law firms.
So someone calls, they're calling a call center first?
You call right in to LegalShield,
Okay.
and then they will get back to you. And we're very fortunate here in Nevada. We have an award-winning for customer service law firm.
Oh, right on.
And so, and it is true. Probably one of the biggest benefits that we have is simply the ability to ask questions about any type of an issue, because most attorneys do not practice all parts of the law, but because of the way LegalShield is set up and the law firms is set up, you can get an attorney who specializes in whatever your
That's what
particular.
happened for me. Yes. No, I had an issue with a bank back east that I had a line of credit with, and they weren't being reasonable. And LegalShield handled the whole thing for me. They sent, they dealt with the other attorney from the other side. Because listen, when you're an individual and you think you're an attorney and you say, "Look, I play one on TV," no, you don't. You need an attorney talk to attorneys about attorneys.
If you want your house painted, don't call a plumber.
Right.
This is what we're saying here.
And it's very reasonable because explain again. It's a fee to join, a monthly fee.
Let's segue from there. I want to just do a reset, and then we'll pick up from there,
Sure,
if that's okay.
Go.
You're listening to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers or watching. We are coming to you live from the grand opening event of Vegas Sports and Hockey here on the corner of Centennial and Tropical up in the northwestern part of the valley. We are here enjoying the festivities. Every once in a while, you'll see my attention and Neil's attention. Someone just walks by and they recognize us and they're giving us a quick wave. So we apologize up front for that happening on camera and to our dear friend Rick here, but he knows we love him, and fortunately we're both not ignoring him. One of them is still paying attention. But anyway, Rick Knowles, longtime representative of LegalShield, 16 years.
16 years.
Rick and I have networked for many, many years in town, and every time he speaks about it, he is so knowledgeable, not only about what LegalShield does, but what's going on in the industry, to share with people what the benefits are of LegalShield to protect them. So someone out there who's interested in wanting, to get more information, so we want to make sure you give your contact, but then what is the process from that point for somebody to become a subscriber or client of yours for LegalShield?
Well, what I really like to do is to be able to talk to people. We have a really wide breadth of services which we offer. And so what I'd love to do is to sit down and talk to them, find out what their issues are, and then explain to them what we have that meets their need. And we go from there. If after we've talked, it's something that they really feel meets the need for them and will answer their question, and it's an ongoing thing, then it's good to do. If they don't,
right,
then I don't want them to be a customer. But I have a website that people can go to.
Okay, let's give that.
It's Coyle, COYLE, Knowles, KNOWLES .wearelegalshield.com.
Okay, and that's an email. That's your website.
That's my website,
okay,
and you can actually subscribe from the website, and you get a great deal of information also about what our programs are.
Okay, so you sit down with Jane Doe, John Smith, whatever, and what are the type of, you mentioned you kind of do a needs analysis kind of thing, right, to find out what they need specifically so you know how to guide them towards the services of LegalShield, right?
Exactly.
So you've crossed all the T's and dotted the I's, and what does it take for that person now to become a member or one of your clients through LegalShield?
We can sit down. I can do a paper app, or we can do.
Okay.
They can actually go right up on the online and sign up right online.
Okay, and what is the cost? Now I know there's varying costs, right, based on their needs of services, right?
Well, it depends. No, in the state of Nevada,
okay,
the basic LegalShield plan is $17.
Okay, and what does somebody have? What do they get access to for $17?
For $17, it's basically a consultation for any type of an issue that they have.
Okay.
Another thing is if somebody is treated badly and say, like a friend of mine turned in a cell phone, the cell phone company still wanted $75.
Oh, I know who that is.
Right.
I know what store you're talking about.
But the biggest thing, Rick, and correct me if I'm wrong, and again, I have LegalShield.
Right.
You get a traffic ticket. What do I do? Do I represent myself? Blah, 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 blah. LegalShield will give you here's the key. They will give you legal advice as to what you should do and not charge you $250 an hour, or every time they pick up the phone, you're getting charged like a real, a regular, I shouldn't say real, a regular attorney. They're right there. And there's a law firm that represents Las Vegas LegalShield that you go, you know how the drill works. And I've spoken to 3 different attorneys on 3 different situations, and each one of them was extremely efficient, precise, and resolved my issue. And it didn't cost me a fortune because I'm already a member of LegalShield.
So for the $17, like Neil was talking about, basically they get access to the call center, they get access to an attorney who can give them legal advice.
Exactly. For instance, if you get a traffic ticket, this is the most important thing. We are app driven today.
Can you pull up the app on your phone? We could show them what it looks like. If you can.
I've got it shut off
At least,
right now,
okay,
so
no worries.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want it to go off and bother things.
But they can access it through your website you gave them, right?
You have a website that you go to if you're a member, and you also have an app, and it makes it really handy. For instance, you get a ticket, you snap a picture of your ticket, it goes into the attorneys, they will call you back, they will go back and go to court for us, so we don't have to go to court, do the best job they can. I had an instance where they dropped it down to a parking ticket. I still did have to pay a little fine, but they took care of it. I did not have to take time out, and that would be either here or anywhere in the United States.
You know what I love about it, Aaron?
What's that?
I've called in for the 3 different instances.
Right.
And the receptionist, I'll lack a better terminology, I'll call her the receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
An attorney will get back to you within 2 hours. Every time. You tell me where that's happened in real life.
Nah, I can't come up with one.
Within 2 hours time, 90% of the time it's been sooner,
right? Much
sooner. They get back to you, say, what is your issue? I need this from you. Send me this, send me that. Who would you speak to? Give me the numbers, blah, blah. And you know what? In everybody's life, everybody's time of life is money.
Right.
You haven't got the time to do things that you're not proficient or expertise doing. They do. They take it from there and do everything you need to get done.
So what other options, what other potential monthly options are there for costs, and what additional services would someone have available to?
Well, thus far, we've talked about the legal services.
Right.
We also have Identity Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, identity theft, let's face it, is one of the biggest problems we have in the United States today, or for that matter, in the world.
Right. And
so we have a separate part that takes care of anything to do with identity theft. We will monitor a great many things like your social security number, all of your credit cards, your bank accounts, etc. There are a great many things that we monitor.
Also, the fact that if you just gave them a 20% tip, it doesn't show up in your account that it's 200%. I mean, they'll cover. Am I right?
Right. Yeah.
They're there for you.
Correct.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so they're absolutely there. And one of the biggest things is they have the private investigators sign a limited power of attorney, and they'll take over, and they will restore identity to where it was before it was stolen, if that should happen.
So let me because as people are listening to this and they hear the term Identity Shield, there are other companies that are out there that offer the same type of services which you're talking about. So my question to you is what separates the LegalShield product versus some of these other companies that are out there offering the same type of protection, ID protection?
Right. Well, we're extremely comprehensive about what we do. One of the biggest things is you'll very often hear LegalShield or an identity theft company talk about resolution. We don't do resolution. That means that they will guide you and you get to do the work.
Right.
We do restoration work. And that, of course, about 80% of identity theft problems,
okay,
of illicit identity theft problems,
right,
involve something legal. So there you have the partnership between LegalShield and ID Shield, so that you can go back and forth and they work well together.
Gotcha. So, because there's that commercial that's out there, and I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of the company where the patient is in a dentist chair and the doctor and the assistant says, "Oh, you have a cavity."
Right.
And the guy says, "Well, aren't you going to work on it?" He says, No, we're just the notification company.
Right.
We don't actually work on it." So that's not what you guys offer. You guys
No.
do the notification, but you also repair the cavity.
Absolutely. And the thing is, that's another reason to have the phone. It comes if you get, for instance, somebody takes out a credit card in our name, it goes in, they find out about it, you get an immediate notification. If somebody changes the mailing address, the same thing, you get an immediate notification. Now, when any of this thing happens, you have to react right away.
Right.
But you have the notification, and you have the people. You do something, and you think, "Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I'm really worried." You can go in, and this is true for both LegalShield and ID Shield. But in ID Shield, you can call 24/7 in the event of an emergency. They'll work on it, or you can go just during the week. But
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and so it's. And that's really great. It's the same thing with LegalShield. You can call 24/7 in the event of an emergency, like you're being arrested or somebody's coming and going to do something with your kids from Child Protective Services. So.
And the real key, and that's why my finger went up to make a point, is that if you have used attorneys in the past, you're always wary about, I can't call them because I'm on the clock. Every time I call the attorney, I'm on the clock. God only knows what the hell my bill's going to be like. It's not like that with LegalShield. Once you open a case, you're a member.
Right.
You're a member. They're not charging you every 15 seconds.
Right.
And you're not on the clock, and you're getting excellent service.
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If someone signs up here with you in Las Vegas, but they're on vacation somewhere or they're back east in another state, when they call based on their number, do the calls go back to where their membership originates? Like if I'm in Jersey visiting family, but I have a situation, does my call automatically get referred back to here and I deal with attorneys here or in that area?
You start with here, and if the issue is in New Jersey,
okay,
then you will be referred to the provider attorney in New Jersey.
And who makes that provision? Is it the attorney who says call this person, or when you make that first call into the call center?
When you make the first call into the call center, then they take it from there.
Gotcha.
That's one of the things that my wife Dorothy and I were very intrigued by. Whereas on business, I do some traveling. You're covered with LegalShield. Mm-hmm. When you travel, you are covered. Now, internationally,
I was just going to ask.
I could see it. Internationally, when you travel, you're still covered to a degree.
Well, to a degree. Actually, LegalShield, both are pretty much in the United States. We don't have attorneys outside the United States, other than the fact it's the United States and Canada. We're just opening up in the UK.
That's good. And so are there any other international expansion plans other than outside the UK? I mean, Canada technically is international, but like the UK, are there any other places that's on the drawing board?
That's all that I know of at the moment.
Okay.
And the UK is very new. I know it's been in the works for a while, but it's very new.
Okay, that's cool. So you're a member. I used to be a member, actually. I was a member for a while, and for reasons that doesn't matter why I had to end my membership, but I do believe in the service. I mean, for $17 a month, it's one of the best deals that you can have in terms of self-protection is the way I kind of look at it. It's like insurance, like anything else, but $17 protects you for everything. Now, is there any type of legal situation that perhaps is not covered by an attorney? I mean, are there things that attorneys cannot help with?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way, but one of the biggest things is for $17 a month, we can't expect the attorneys to do everything.
Sure.
There are several areas where we do help. We help with wills, reviewing documents, etc., with advice. In the event that it is something where they have to represent you in court, maybe there's a bankruptcy, hopefully not a DUI or something like that, then there's a 25% discount. So I can't really say everything under the sun is handled by a
25% discount on what?
Off of their normal fee.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's like having a health plan that is a HMO, where you get your normal discounts, But if you go outside the network as a PPO, you can still take advantage of it, but at a discounted rate.
Right, and
Okay.
it'll be here no matter where you are. But
Gotcha.
there is and that's one thing that I want to make sure that people don't realize, that there's not everything under the world.
Right.
But you always get a break because attorneys are so expensive.
No, absolutely.
How are we doing in the chat room, though? Because I see it's lightening up over
Hey,
here.
I've got more green slots in the chat room. By the way, I do want to mention, anybody in the chat room, if you have any specific questions on the topic that Rick is talking about, please shoot them in the chat room, and we'll be happy to discuss them here on the air. So let me ask you this, Rick. Obviously, becoming a client of LegalShield with you and whatnot sounds very simple. So what kind of tips, though? Let's go back to the identity situation, because we all hear these things about, make sure you change your passwords or this, that, or the other thing. Give us a couple of tips people can do to protect their identity, hopefully prior to any situations.
Okay, well, thanks. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And you mentioned passwords, because that is such a tremendous deal. One of the things is, don't use the same password for all of the accounts, because if they get into one account, they're going to get into all of them.
Right.
And make it rather unique.
What are the worst kind of passwords to set up? Let me ask you that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I was just going to
say
password.
That.
Yeah, and password.
Birth dates, phone numbers, things that most people would know would probably be not good choices.
Well, and this is just it. We often say, be careful what you put on Facebook.
Right.
Because if your password is your pet's name and you're always talking your pet, or you're talking about your kid, then
you're giving them a possible lead.
Somebody told me, it's a great line. I said, do you ever have problems with your password? They said, most of the time, until I changed it. I said, well, what did you change it to?
They can't remember.
He said, incorrect, because every time I put a password in, it says, your password is incorrect. I know what it is.
Type it in incorrect. Jeez, I actually, after replying with all the websites and stuff that I'm on and that I utilize, I actually have a journal.
Yeah,
at home.
We do too.
It's stored away somewhere safe, but I just can't keep them all, in your head. So I had to start writing them down for all the different sites I'm on.
Absolutely. And I have a friend, by the way, who does a spreadsheet, and he puts it on a thumb drive.
There you go. So
that he has it. But one tip about a password, and I've had some people in IT talk about this, is one of the worst calls that they can get is something happens to somebody, they don't know how to get into their husband or their wife's account.
Right.
And they have to try and uncover it. So make sure that we should all make sure that somebody, in the event that we're unable, even if it's temporarily, to help ourselves, that somebody can get into the account, and it's where somebody can get to it.
That's a great idea. And if you do a password, most of the time now, most websites require you to set it up with some capital letters, numbers, symbols, something other than just a set of numbers or just a set of letters. Mix it up, which makes it harder for someone to hopefully get access to your stuff, right?
Usually the one doing the password, like me, I have no clue. You know what? There are so many sites and so many social media this and so many of these that, create a password. I'm like, all right, do I use the same one?
Well, that's why I have a journal.
Yeah, but
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning, and you expect me to remember 9,000 passwords?
Right, exactly.
That's why I write them down.
But there's an app for that.
Yeah, there is. Okay, CJ, we'll send you a bill, by the way.
That's right.
Anyway, all right, so give us another tip about identity protection.
Well, okay, we talk about passwords. One of the things might be to be a little bit careful about keeping too much information on our computers. In other words, if there are old documents or contacts that we no longer need, actually take them off. Or if there's a document we need, either encrypt them or maybe store them on the web, store them on an alternative drive.
Well,
Yes, or in the cloud.
Let me ask you a question about that, because we are co-members of networking groups.
Yes.
And we have in our networking group, ProNet, a computer guy.
Exactly.
Now, listening to you say, we should not store, or listen, I draw for a living. I'm pretty good on a computer, but I'm not an expert on it. Should we, and that's where I'll use the word we, co-work with, partner with people that is their strength, and say, look, I have a situation. I want to make my computer more safe. I want your knowledge, because you're the expert in this industry, to either suggest an app, software, or hardware that I can store. Can you do this? I'm going to take the Jewish way.
Or underwear.
I make the phone call because you know what? I'm not going to spend the time doing something I don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
Elaborate a little bit on that. I mean, that's something that LegalShield and legal this and that and the other thing, all the aspects of LegalShield would help you with, to say, listen, I love LegalShield. I want to be a member. I'm a rookie at this. I don't know how it works. Can you walk me through what I should do to make this safe? Why don't you talk about
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things that it's interesting, and it was something that it took me a while to adjust to. That I don't provide any of the services myself. I'm not an attorney. I'm not one of the identity theft experts. But what I can do is work and get to know my client or my prospect, and so that to know what their issues are, check with them to make sure that they're getting the maximum service. And my job is really to make sure that people maximize their membership.
You're the sales rep.
I'm the sales rep, but more than that, I hope that people look at me as being a partner for what they're doing.
Consultant is the kind of word that I like as well.
I like the partner because, listen, we both know, we all know, in Vegas, it's all about partnering. You know, you play to your strengths, you avoid your weakness, and you partner with people that make your weakness a strength, and you become stronger.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Exactly. All right, give us a third one. Give us a third tip if you can. You know what I want to ask you? Let's forget that. I have a question for you because I've heard you give this stat before. How often, either per day or whatever the stat is someone's identity stolen? Because you've shared a stat like that in the past, haven't you?
I think
or the number of identities that have been stolen over a period of time.
The number of identities that got stolen, and it's been going up. I don't have the figure in my head right now for some reason or other, but yes, it is very high.
Is it on a monthly basis or
on a monthly basis? In fact, one thing that's just come out is Nevada is one of the places to have our identity stolen.
Everything's stolen. Don't walk down Fremont Street. Right. The world's best pickpockets.
That's right.
But no, it's true. But they very often people say, it's not if you're going to have your identity stolen, it's when.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Now,
and you stop and think, one of the things, like, there were 148 million people that had their information compromised.
Okay.
Now, how many of it actually turned into identity theft, we don't know.
Based on what time period was that breach? Over the last year, over the last 5 years?
That breach was... it was the Equifax breach, and we don't know exactly, but it was over a period of time.
Gotcha.
But all of these people, and the problem is the breaches and people getting in.
Right.
Something that they just got breached was...
They got hacked, basically.
WhatsApp, yes, was WhatsApp.
Right.
And
That's
I
right.
happened to see that, and that was this week, and they came back out, and they say, listen, you need to uninstall WhatsApp and reinstall it because you'll have the fix. But people were vulnerable, and you just really don't know how many people are vulnerable. These breaches are, and they happen all the time. I think one of the biggest dangers with a breach is the fact that we hear so often that we just let it, there's another.
It's like old news.
Right, and we don't really take the aggressive steps that we might.
Why don't we do a reset? Let our audience know who we have for a guest in between the twin brothers from different mothers.
Rick Knowles is between us. He represents LegalShield. He's been in the industry for about 16 years, and he's well-versed in what LegalShield and Identity Shield can offer. We are coming to you live right now from the grand opening of Vegas Sports and Hockey right on the corner of Tropical and Centennial Parkways here in the northern western part of the valley. I'm looking at a sea of people coming in and out. Marc-Andre Fleury is here. ESPN is here. Windy City Hot Dogs is here. Neil and I are here. We have a DJ playing. I'm trying to catch Brett for a few minutes, but he's been running around past us helping customers, so we can't expect him to stop helping his customers. But if you've missed anything in the last rough hour or so with Rick, please make sure you keep an eye out for the podcast links, or as soon as we're done with this broadcast, it will automatically be available immediately on my Facebook page, and then eventually on YouTube, TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, What other one? SoundCloud.
Today's starting
Live 365 is a new site that's picked up our show. You can hear us on Live 365 twice a day, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. So we thank them for picking up our show as well. So great information. Let's give you contact information, your website, and anything else you want to give for people to get in touch with you.
Okay, my website is Rick is my nickname, so my website is Coyle Knowles, CoyleKnowles.wearelegalshield.com.
Is that the letter R or A-R-E?
A-R-E. And exactly, and that will take you to a website that has just a tremendous amount of information and the ability to sign up right then or to get a hold of me. And as I say, I love to be able to talk to people.
And I would encourage that. I would encourage you sit down with Rick, set up a time so he gets to know you. You get to know Rick. You can ask all your questions about LegalShield, and Rick can properly guide you to the type of services and direction you need to make your membership the value that you may want it or need it to be. Hopefully never actually use it, but have it available to you when you need it.
Well, let me tell you something. You do need it. You're always going to need it. There's going to be an instance that shows up, and then you're going to really want to start searching for an attorney.
Right. No.
For $17 a month or thereabouts, I don't even know. You know what? I don't care what it costs. It's the peace of mind to know you are one call away from getting something resolved. That's the key.
It's like insurance.
Yeah.
You pay it, you know it's there, you're comfortable, and if you need it, it's available. So, Mr. Rick, any final thoughts to anybody out there who is saying, you know what, I got a legal problem, or I'm thinking about checking into this and I'm not sure? What would you say to that person right now about reaching out to you?
Let's sit down and chat. I'd be glad to have to talk with you. It's a major paradigm shift, really, because we are it's so ingrained in us. The attorneys cost so much. We only use them in the event of something really catastrophic, whereas the greatest thing about LegalShield to me is it's an affordable resource for us, for our businesses, for our families, that to just have the information to handle whatever the situation is, and be able to talk to somebody, find out, know what our rights are, and if we need anything, get representation.
Sounds good to me.
And they can reach out to you. You've given your contact information.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a meeting that you're going to have to take for 3 hours.
No.
You can sit down with Rick and, within the first 15 minutes to a half hour, understand fully what your concerns are and how to resolve issues. But life is way too short. One moment in time changes everything. You've heard me say that on the broadcast before. It is well worth your time and energy to take that edge off, that you don't have to worry anymore about an issue that could come up because you've got legal shield protection.
You've got the shield.
You got the shield.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you very much.
You okay after we finally did this?
Yeah, this is great. You've been trying to get me to do it for, I think, years.
Years, yes.
and you told me it'd be fun, and it has been. I've enjoyed being here with both of you.
Good.
Great. We've enjoyed having
appreciate
you on.
it. Yep. Rick Knowles from LegalShield. All right, if you want to step down and go get comfortable, we'll finish up, and we're just about done anyway. Thank you again, Rick. We appreciate you making the time. Good information from Rick, LegalShield, and if you miss any of the information, as soon as we break from this show and we end it, then it'll be immediately available back again on our on my page, Aaron Phillips, and then all the links to all of the other pages will be made available, as well as YouTube and other sites as well. A lot of good stuff, I love Rick, and his information is important, and I want to make sure we get the information out. But today I feel like a cat chasing that red light, because we have so many people milling around.
I know.
And you know what? I mean, talk about what you have behind you that you brought to the gallery
Let me show it first.
Yeah, why don't you grab it? Why don't you turn around the other way? It might be easier. This isn't a game of Twister. Just don't pull everything off the table. Because Neil was actually asked to bring down some of his artwork that he has done over the last 2 years, roughly, regarding the Golden Knights. And he's brought some pieces down, but his big one is an acrylic piece. Let me grab it on this end for you. There you go. I got you this side. Let's lean it on the table so everybody sees it straight without it leaning like the Batman's. There we go.
There's the glare.
So why don't you talk about this piece?
This is a piece I did in the Golden Knights inaugural season.
Which was only last year.
Last year, yeah. It sounds like a history, right? There are 14 members of Team Golden Knights, their quest for the Cup, and ultimately playing for the Stanley Cup in their inaugural season. This is a 24 by 36 printed on acrylic glass and available at Portnoy Gallery. We do also have 11 by 14 photographic prints available for purchase as well. But Brett asked me to bring this down to the grand opening so people can see some of the artwork I do, as well as the caricatures of Aaron and myself in the background.
Yeah, everybody's loving it.
They're
They're all commenting on it, and it's great that people are responding to it. I mean, it started yesterday when I walked in, Brett thinking I was you, which was really hysterical. I mean, that happens more times than we could shake a stick at. But here's the cool thing. People have seen this back here, and if you've seen Neil kind of dive out at a picture, it's because he's handing out cards, which is great. We're so happy people are interested in his work. So, again, that's why we kind of saw him dive off. Plus, he finished his hot dog somehow without everybody seeing it.
Nobody saw me eat it.
No, nobody saw, but I still
Never
have
had
mine.
one.
You see, I still have mine. But anyway, so yeah, and where can people? Obviously, we're at the gallery. Give the information about the gallery too, which is where we normally are at.
Sure, we normally broadcast live from Portnoy Gallery, but we again are remote today. The gallery is located at Portnoy Gallery at 1537 West Oakey Boulevard. We are on the corner of Oakey, Western, and Wyoming, down by MLK, 2 blocks away from the Strip. You can reach us at 702-685-2929, 702-685-2929. And once again, it's Portnoy Gallery. Come down, view the gallery. Expect to be there longer than 10, 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
And I'll be kicking you out because I got to work.
Come down on a Saturday when we do the podcast.
That'd
You
be
kill
great.
2 birds with 1 stone. Why don't you
Great.
take this, put that back, because I just saw Brett. He's grabbing a drink of water, and then he's going to quickly jump on with us before we sign off. So a lot of great deals going on here. I have my shopping list, although I'm waiting for my wife to respond to a text I sent her with a shirt, seeing if that's a shirt that she would like me to pick up for her, but she hasn't responded yet. And, of course, my phone is currently on the Facebook Live, so I can respond to everybody. So I can't get to her. I can't get to her. But
You're a New Yorker. You can't get the huh.
I can't get the huh. Yo, EJ. And the jerseys we're wearing are actually courtesy of the store. They're allowing us to wear some of their jerseys. And now we found out that these might be considered game-worn jerseys. I don't know if that means anything or not, but who knows? We may have to talk some deals.
Hey, we have a guest joining us.
We have a guest joining us. The man behind the strength of this store today, and listen, we're only talking you up, my friend. Make sure that mic's right in front of you, yourself like a lollipop. Okay. This is Brett, the store manager here at Vegas Sports and Hockey. Thank you so much for having us. This has been a blast for us.
Yeah, no, we're definitely having fun too. We appreciate you guys coming out.
So talk about, we've been talking about it, but let's share with everybody what you got going on here and the benefit of it all.
Yeah, so basically this is our sidewalk sale. We took over this store at, say, Black Friday, so 11/23 is our first day we opened. And we inherited a lot of older merchandise from the last store that was here, so we're just using this as an opportunity to kind of still build hype around the team, the Knights. So we made everything 25% off, and then we marked everything that we inherited from the other store down to the
so you can refresh the stock.
Exactly.
And you have some stuff outside too. You have some racks of stuff.
Yeah, so everything outside's $5. I know we have Ballpark Frank with ESPN Radio. He's out front.
Right. Windy City Hot Dogs is out there.
Windy City Hot Dogs is out there. They're delicious. They're selling them for $1.
Bark-Andre Furry walking around the store.
Yeah, Bark-Andre Furry's in and out. There's a couple other
I saw the other dog.
You got Bruce Kusek. He's the official on ice announcer, and then you have DJ Joe Green. He's the official DJ for the Knights. He's playing the music that you guys can probably hear in the background.
Does that mean Joe Green?
Not Mean Joe Green.
Well, thank goodness
That's a football player, though.
Thank goodness we're behind the sound, because if we were out in front of it, I don't think anybody would be hearing us.
Yeah, so it's definitely crazy out there right now.
So why don't you give the actual address location of the store?
Yeah, so we're located 7701 West Tropical Parkway, which is on the corner of Tropical and Centennial Center. We'll be here. All the events, all the festivities are happening from 12 to 3, but we'll be here in the sale the entire day.
Well, I was going to say, if you walk in, tell them that you heard about the store on the podcast today, and anything with the red flyer in front of it, they'll give you 25% off.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Like the way I worked that in there?
Yeah, that was good. You guys are definitely good. Do you guys like the setup behind you?
Oh, this is great.
You know, it's really unique. And usually when we do the live broadcast, the podcast from the gallery, I'm sitting on the other side, and I'm usually in front of Aaron's picture behind me in the Yankee uniform.
Okay.
And he's in front of my Red Sox uniform. This is the first time we've done this where Aaron's actually in front of the Yankee and I'm in front of my Red Sox. So this
There
worked
you
out
go.
beautifully.
Exactly. And we may have to figure out a way to do this when we're back at the gallery.
Yeah.
Because it feels more natural that we're in front of ourselves.
Yeah, this is a much better side for me, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Left side is the beauty side.
I don't know, but you thought he was me and me. Him.
That was crazy. He walked in yesterday, and I'm like, Neil, no, not Neil. And then he's like, yeah, I get that all the time.
that was probably the fastest response of backpedaling someone's done when everybody's like, hello, Neil, how are you? What's good? Wait a minute, you're not Neil. No, you caught it within like 3 seconds. That's a record.
I didn't even get Neil out. I was like, Neil, no, not Neil.
But
there.
listen,
Hey,
we thank you again. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you got a packed store here. You know, the nice thing about where we're doing the podcast from the back of the store, we're looking out at the entire store, and people are bustling all around. I saw a lady over here buy a pair of sandals with Golden Knights, the Golden Knight sandals. He's walking around in his blue shirt. He's walked about 4 miles today helping people.
He should be on roller skates.
It's a lot less hectic back here now that I'm sitting back here. It's actually a good take a breather.
Now, isn't this store affiliated with the store down by the mall on Merrill?
So we actually have 3 locations. The location that started it all was Uniform
Ultimate
Sports.
Uniform
Yeah,
Sports.
Uniform Sports. So they're located in the old Bells Mall. It's the Premium Outlet South
Right.
Mall. That kind of started it all. Once the Knights expanded and we got the Raiders as well, we needed to open another store to kind of do it justice
Sure,
in order to carry all the stuff a little bit. In order to carry a better selection. So we opened Vegas Sports and Hockey, and then
When is it going to go to,
Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, because I'm looking
Yeah,
at
so
all this. Is this the old stock?
no, it's not the old stock. That's actually new stock. What they're smart about it. You notice nothing says Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Just
It
says
just
Raiders.
says Raiders football. It's kind of a legality. We're not allowed to sell anything that says Las Vegas Raiders till they're officially here, which is in 2020. But they've stopped making Oakland Raiders, so we're kind of in like a
Limbo.
if you say.
Transitional
Yeah,
phase.
Transitional
exactly.
period, yeah.
Exactly.
So nothing says Oakland Raiders, but nothing also says Las Vegas.
I was in a
Raiders.
transitional period with 2 wives.
I'll
Oh.
stop that. Did you wear black then too?
I did wear black.
Okay, so here's what's cool. Vegas hockey. I mean, I would say probably a quarter of the store, looking up front from where we're sitting,
Sure.
is Knights paraphernalia.
Yep.
But you've got baseball, you've got hockey, you've got football, you've got every. Now I noticed though your college stuff has dwindled significantly. Do you plan on carrying college again on any major level or not?
Honestly, probably nothing more than the
Tchotchkes?
National champion stuff.
The Rebels, a little bit of the national championship stuff when that happens, but
Okay.
Rebels and UNR is probably the focus. In order to carry all this stuff, we have to give up something, and it's probably more than likely going to be, oh God.
Well,
What'd
it's a
you
good
find?
thing there's some Penn State stuff still here. And there's no Syracuse stuff, Eileen, so sorry about that. But there is at least this one Penn State thing. I looked for a Penn State hat yesterday, and there was no Penn
Yeah,
State hat.
no
I was
luck.
very disappointed.
You bought them all already.
No, I probably
Probably.
did from the previous store name.
Yeah.
We used to have an account here. Do you guys still do those like shopper accounts or
We
not?
don't do shopper accounts, but we have a Facebook where we post the sales that we're running all the time.
Gotcha.
And that's the best way to kind of keep up with us, what the sale we're running, any special promotions. We sometimes do special promotions where we only broadcast it to Facebook. We'll do like giveaways for Facebook.
Website information for people to just kind of check out?
Yeah, so Facebook, if you like us on Facebook, we're just Vegas Sports and Hockey. Now there's 2 locations, the Vegas Sports and Hockey, just that is our location over at the mall.
Okay.
And then there's Vegas Sports and Hockey Centennial, which is us over here on Tropical.
Right on.
Hey, Bark Andre Furry, the dog that's here.
Yeah.
It's Bark. There's an R in there. It's not Bach. He's
Bach.
a musician.
No, I'm from Massachusetts. I don't have ours. But he's got this cute little stuffed animal dog.
Yeah.
Do you have that in store?
Yeah, we do have the dog in store now. Unfortunately, that one is just a display when we can't sell him. We'll have current product with Bark to sell, those stuffed animals. They'll be probably ready by the next hockey season.
Because I have that in the gallery. I right in front of my drawing board, so I look at him every day.
Mhm.
It looks just like him. It's great dog.
Are you excited to get your drawing out on T-shirts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Will that be carried here in the store?
Yeah, we're anything that Bark, we always carry whatever merchandise we have. So,
Right
I mean, we have a little bit of merchandise right now, and then we're going to slowly transition to the
And-
new
and,
drawing
you know,
that
and-
Neil did.
Right, and Rick Williams, his handler, or Mr. Barks, Grandpa Bark, I don't know what you call him. So easy to deal with, such a gentleman, always there when you call him and want something, and he gives back so much to the community and the kids, which Aaron and I are all about. We're all about the kids,
Mhm.
and I just love the interaction. He's walking around with the dog, and people are taking pictures, and he's got this little hand stamp, little 5x7, memorabilia stuff that he's giving, and he's stamping the dog paw print on the back, which I think is excellent.
Absolutely.
That's probably the biggest reason why we work with him is just because of how much he does give back to the community. We love that. Yep. And he's always working with like Noah's Animal House and anybody, like you said, he's always visiting the kids in the hospitals, handing out the plushies. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why we like working with him too.
Look, we don't want to keep you here forever. You got to run your store. People coming in. It's tell us a little bit. How long is this going to run today?
So all the festivities kind of run from 12 to 3, but we're going to run the sale 25% off the entire day.
Nice.
But yeah, so this is a one-day sale if you guys want to come stop by and take advantage of the sale.
Now, come on down because the jerseys that Neil and I are wearing are now considered game worn. So
would you like me to sign yours? I have my marker.
He has
only if I can sign yours.
He has a little something extra on his.
Yeah, something.
That's not going to mean much.
Well, it's not going to mean much, but how many years has it been for the Yankees to win anything?
How many do the Yankees
I
have
don't want
in
to hear
total?
how many they have.
Oh, okay. We don't want to hear the reality of it, that we have 27
Yeah,
titles.
but you and I weren't even here when half of those were won. So we don't
I've seen enough of them since the 70s.
How many have you seen since the 70s?
Well, how many were there? The 70s?
Oh, no, you tell me.
I'd have to go back and count. Where's that flag we have here with all their titles? Didn't you give me a flag with titles?
Yeah, I ripped it down.
There it is. It's up there. If I could reach that, I'd pull down all the dates and tell you which ones I've seen. A lot more than you've seen for the Red Sox.
Well, that's true, but I've seen more in the last 10 years.
I feel like I'm in the middle of something.
You better leave while it's safe. Brett, thank you for hosting it. We appreciate it. Thank you, Brett. We appreciate it. Come on down. Say hi to Brett. They'll be here till 3 o'clock with all the fun festivities and the music and the hot dogs and everything else. And, so we're just about done here, sir. I think we
stay on for a little bit, or are we running someplace?
No, we're not running someplace, but we do have a place to be later on today, which I can talk about. There's a new organization coming out called The Fan. It is going to be an online forum website where the sports fan can view and express all their opinions about things they like, dislike, or whatever. Now, some people are going to say, well, what does that mean? Well, we just have a website. We can do that. A forum. We can just do that on Facebook. Yes. However, this site, the proprietors behind it, will also be taking this information and actually sending it forward to the sports organizations with which the people are talking about. So if you don't like parking prices in a parking garage or the price of beer or this, that, or the other thing, this is going to be the site that you can express all that at. And so there is a rally today starting at 3:30 at Sierra Gold's down on South Jones in the 215. Neil and I will be there. You're welcome to come down. The official launch of the website will be June 8th. But keep an eye out on Facebook for that. So that's really the only thing we've really got going on after this. So I just want to make sure you and I have enough time to clean up here, go home, grab a quick nap before we reconvene.
You're not taking a nap.
No, you're right. I'm probably not. I got to let the dogs out for a little bit anyway. So, but so we've got that.
You'd appreciate this. I
go
ahead. In the live thing that I'm doing here, I don't know the show. Somebody commented, "Did you do the drawing in the background? The twin brothers thing." I said,
right.
"Yeah, that's my drawing." And then he types, "That's what I thought. I'm a Yankee fan all my life, but I don't hate the Red Sox. I love that they're wearing those caps. What are their names?" And I responded, "That's Aaron and myself."
There you go. Did you even notice I did a wardrobe change? Nope. I went for my. By the way, the original hat I had on today. All of Major League Baseball is wearing these today. This is the honor of our military.
Oh.
So all of Major League Baseball is wearing these today. I had this one on first. And it's funny, when I walked in, Brett had this on the table for me to wear, but I already had it.
For all my New England fans, watch this.
No. Hey, oh, really? I wish I could do a screenshot right now. Oh my gosh. You know what? You wear that hat. You know how much more we look alike?
Yeah, it's crazy. But does this not bring back memories of I did this for so many years of my life?
Yeah, while wearing hats, being on the mound.
Always wore a baseball cap.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, so that's what we have going on today. So we'll be down at South Jones in the 215 at Sierra Gold. So come on down. And I think I'm actually going to be given a microphone while I'm there to actually talk about the website and do some Facebook live stuff from the event. So you and I, people could see our faces again later today.
We could be twin brothers from different mothers, live, remote, and wherever the hell we are.
I'll tell you what. But you know what? I got to be honest with you. This is the kind of day I love about what I do and what we do here, is because today is all about entertaining, promoting, being out in the public eye, and bringing twin brothers from different mothers to the forefront and to the public.
Sure. And, listen, well received by all who are in the store. People kind of looking in the back of the store and they're going, "What's going on back there?" There's two guys with headphones and microphones. Hey, can I turn this up again? It keeps going down. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why I'm not touching it.
I know.
There you go. How's
there you
that?
go. That's better. That's better.
Unless there's unless Babe Ruth is in here turning your volume down.
I have his Yankee hat on.
I actually have an old style Yankee hat in my collection of the type that, the very low, right to the head skull cap almost kind of
I
thing.
used to have a 4-finger glove that
Because you would put two fingers in, right?
2 in each one.
Yeah. My grandfather had one of those, but it looked
Thanks.
very different.
I feel so much older now.
Yes. But other than that, it's just fun. I love it. I love interacting with the live audience. This is why I wish more people should come down to us when we're at the gallery doing our show, because we love folks being in part of it. It gives us extra energy. Not that we don't have energy doing what we do, but you should come down to the gallery. It kills two birds with one stone. If you come down, A, we may throw you on the radio for a second
Correct.
or two. Two, you get to see the gallery and be part of a live audience of a radio show. So
I just love looking out at everybody here. This is great.
I know everybody's eyes. It's like watching people walk into a candy store because they're seeing so much. There's a lot of interaction right now. The young gal who works here in the store, and I did not get her name. She's been running around helping us.
She's been taking pictures of us all
She's
day.
been taking. I know. Hope she's not stalking us. But right now, she's holding somebody's baby.
Really?
Yes, I'm watching her. She's right in the middle of the store.
I see her. Yeah,
do you see her now?
Yeah.
She's holding a baby there now. I mean, this is really cool to see how the communities come down and really interact with everybody.
This is great. This is great. Hey, look, we're going to have to run because we do have another engagement that, like you had mentioned earlier, we got to get to. We've stayed on a little longer than normal just because we're having so much fun.
Now, next week is Memorial Day weekend. As of right now, we don't have anything specific in terms of guests lined up. I know we're working on one, so folks, please stay in tune to our Facebook page. The following week, I think that's June 1st, that Saturday, there will be no live show that week. We're taking off that week. I will be out of town. Neil's going to be tied up, so there's no show on the 1st.
Who's tying me up?
And then we come back on the 8th with the big show at the gallery. Why don't you talk about the show on the 8th?
On the 8th, we're doing a red carpet. We're doing a step and repeat. We're having Vin A from the Bronx Wanderers, an extremely talented musician, singer, songwriter, and member of what I consider one of the best shows in Las Vegas, the Bronx Wanderers, playing 6 out of 7 nights a week at the Link. Vinay is going to talk about his experiences from being at age 14 into the Bronx Wanderers, doing his own music as Vinay, his own band, knowing everybody in Vegas. Excuse me, he'll have his CD. He's going to bring his guitar, I heard. We'd love a live audience in numbers down to the gallery. And we're going to do giveaways, and we're going to start promoting it the 2 weeks that we're not black or dark, as they say. But we're going to do a little homework on our end.
Yep.
So you will see a lot of postings.
And we have a special time for the show, too.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
11 to 1.
11 to 1.
You said it. I didn't.
I know. I forgot. I'm old.
I know it's not on your calendar,
It's on
right?
my calendar. Yeah, I think this Yankee hat is affecting me. Hang on.
Yeah. Right now, the whole Yankee nation was shaking in its boots.
That's much better. I can see much clearer now.
Oh, my goodness. All right, folks. I think we're going to wrap it up. We are live right now at the Vegas Sports and Hockey Store up on Tropical and Centennial. Their event here is going to go on until 3 o'clock. However, their 25% off sale on items that are marked will be continuing through the rest of the day, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here as well. So any final thoughts, sir?
No, but Bob Barry, who's been watching the live thing here, he just said to me, "When did you play?" I'm not going. Many moons ago. I think it was during the Yankees 17 World Series.
Yeah, it was well before they had AstroTurf.
Right.
It was well before they had AstroTurf. So
that's one of the portrait cartoons I do. I can put anybody in any position, anyway.
There you go.
He's really tall, this young gentleman over here.
Yes, he is. And he's wearing a Batman shirt,
he's a Batman.
I'm a Batman fan. So good shirt, my friend. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 16? Do you play basketball? Do you really?
Yeah, he's about 6'2.5", 6'3", or bigger.
What school do you go to? Bonanza High School. Wow. Come on up forward a little bit so we can hear you. What's your name? What is it? Thomas. Very nice to meet. Oh, Tyler. I'm sorry.
Tyler.
Nice to meet you.
Very tall young man.
He's
You were not in a hole. That's very funny.
But look for Tyler. He's down at Bonanza High School and he plays ball. So that's going to be pretty cool to say we knew him when he stopped by at the podcast. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, you've been mentioned on the live Twin Brothers from Different Mothers podcast on Facebook. So
That's it. There you go. All right, folks, from all of us here at the store, Brett, we thank you again, all the customers, everybody that has stopped by. Have a great week, man.
Have a wonderful week. Enjoy life. One moment in time changes everything. Play every day to its fullest.
You got it. Have a great week.